Hello everybody, welcome to another Shiny Developer Series live stream, or if you're watching this on the YouTube channel on demand, welcome as well. And this was streamed live on Twitch on October 6th, 2021. Yeah, almost forgot the year. Well, my name is Eric, and we're gonna start a pretty ambitious project tonight that may go one way or another. Probably a flip of a coin in terms of will this be successful in the ways I imagine it. But there's a lot of interesting tooling, I think, that can help us construct maybe a more, you might say, learner-friendly example of showing how a Shiny app can progress from maybe a very basic prototype where you're just scheming things out all the way to a finished product, and being able to build kind of a narrative in between those steps, but to have it in one place. This actually was inspired directly by a Discord conversation that Jesse Mostipak and I were having, along with some others on her Discord channel within the streamers group. And once she kind of articulated her high level of what she was thinking of, I was like, I want in on this. She was gracious enough to say, hey, if you want to help build some of the tooling around this, go right ahead. And my goal is to get something together that she can use for her vision of building up some more sophisticated examples, potentially for the official Shiny Gallery, but from a learner perspective. So this is all sounding pretty abstract now, but I think it'll make more sense once we dive into it. So let's bring in our chat here. Unicorn Coder is here. Always great to have you. Welcome aboard. And I'm sure we may get some others trickle in, but it is Wednesday. It is hump day, as they say. So I'm sure a lot are pretty tired like me. But like I said, tonight we're gonna get some stuff in the boilerplate and kind of get a high level of whether this idea might work. So, oh, Isomore is here as well. Hello, hello. Before I get into that, I'm actually really excited about some of the tweaks I've just made to OBS for my streaming setup, because honestly, it is going to make my actual coding live a lot easier than it was in the past. There was a bit of hardware involved and a little bit of hacking of a Linux driver, but it all worked, and it's going to be pretty cool. But I'm going to give you a little preview of what my live coding experience used to be during these streams and what it has turned into now. So I'm going to resize a couple things here, and like I said, I got some new toys to play with, so to speak. But the first bit, hey, we got a raid. Community time, Monica, welcome. I was preparing for my stream when you were streaming, and sorry I couldn't make it, but happy to have you here. Hope you're doing well. I know you hopefully are recovering from the trip, but great to have you. We're gonna do some fun experimentation with Shiny tonight, but you came at the right time because I'm about to show some of the slick OBS tricks that I've implemented since last week, and you can guess who inspired this. You know him very well. So, and there will be, I alluded to this on the streamer Discord, because of the tricks I've just implemented, I'm getting set for like my second round of OBS kind of video tutorials, probably another live stream that's geared towards obviously those that are new to OBS, especially those that are in our data science group that are kind of wanting to learn the ropes. So I'm trying to pay it forward like Martin Wimpress has done for us on the Wimpy's World. So, first cool trick. You're about to see a new device. This is my phone, and never mind the stickers. My son got his hands on it. That's a long story. But watch this. Welcome to the phone cam. This is my monitor. Notice what's in the upper left. This is how I have been coding in my live streams before the tricks. So VS Code is on the left, yes, and notice it's basically a quarter of my screen. Why is that? This is a 4K monitor. And everything I've read about OBS says that it's pretty hard to push a 4K resolution with bitrate limitations onto a stream directly. So, in OBS, what I call my canvas resolution is 1080p. This is obviously not a 1080p monitor. So my compromise was to do window captures of VS Code and some other windows, but the downside was I had to resize it to be basically 1080p. So up until basically tonight, every time you see me pull up VS Code, or even RStudio for that matter, it was in a very small window like this, which my slightly ancient age is rising. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see the errors when something's this small. But it gets better. It gets better. Now comes the hack. Well, not hacks. They're legitimate tricks. Monica, you can vouch for me. Everything Martin tells us is legit. You just have to have the time to do it. Sometimes the hardware to do it. But it is fun. Now, let me step back a little bit. This is my second monitor. This is a 1080p monitor. So, what I have done in the past is, like for a web browser, I might drag the web browser here and I'll look at this monitor while VS Code was on this one here. But we're about to show something fun here. So I'm gonna drag this out and I'm gonna let it vanish. Now, where on earth did it go? It's not here. It's not here. Well, let's find out. Unicorn Coder is right. It is a third window on a monitor that technically doesn't exist in the hardware. How did I pull this off? On my video card for my streaming computer, there's a spare port. The port now has a little mini, I mean, there's a more technical term for this. It's like a dummy HDMI connection. It's as if I put a plug in the HDMI port with a little device. That device tricks my computer into thinking there is a third monitor on my system. Now, here comes the secret sauce. So I'm gonna go back to the phone for a second. Now, I can stream looking at VS Code. It's not gonna show up here, but if I go off the phone, my VS Code is gonna be maximized in this entire OBS window. So it is like I have OBS on my primary monitor with VS Code literally in the square of it. That probably makes no sense, but when I switch back to this, you're not going to be any for the wiser when you look at this, but when I look at this, I see VS Code almost maximize across my entire screen, give or take the OBS border and the Twitch chat on the right. This is just going to make my life so much easier. I can't believe I went this long without this trick. But A, I didn't know how to do it. Martin had to teach us. And B, now that I have done it, I'm not going back to the old way of those like tiny little windows. So now I have to do a little housekeeping here. This is, I know what Martin means when it's kind of like you got this window inception here. So I'm going to, with the chat here, I'm going to resize this just a little bit. So it's not quite perfect, but it's, like I said, leaps and bounds better than what I had before. So Yes, all that little bit I just said in the last 5 or so minutes will be part of a future OBS tutorial, because that phone camera that you saw had no additional software installed on the phone or my computer. That was all through a service called VDO Ninja. So if you're ever in a situation where you need a second camera, somebody's on here. That's a hint, hint, by the way. This trick makes it work very, very well. So pumped about that. Can't wait to tell you all about it. Isomore asks, what's the lag for that? It's pretty good. I haven't done an extensive amount of testing for the phone lag of the camera, but it looked like to me it was quite responsive, and there are various tweaks you can make. You know, we'll see. Oh, Monica has got a question, music to my ears, saying that's pretty amazing. Well, thank you, but you know who taught me. When can I get you to do a series on Ubuntu on Air? I think we can make that happen. I feel like I'm getting pretty confident in that stuff. So, Monica, let's follow up on Wimpy's Discord, and we will get that lined up for sure. Yay! Always love to talk to my Linux friends and my data science friends at the exact same time. Yeah. All right. So, the other cool trick in this whole setup is I can also, once I scroll around here a little bit, I can also bring in my web browser here as well. And now I can kind of alt-tab through certain things and be able to kind of still look at the same screen as I do this. So, now what are we going to do tonight? So, we are going to look at, for the second time on the Shiny Developer Series stream, a package called Brochure. Who is Brochure by? Well, it's by Colin Fay, one of my better call R friends in the community, the author alongside the rest of his team at ThinkR of one of my favorite Shiny packages of all time called Golem, that helps make your app as a package. And I will always say this, and somebody's, maybe they're not here yet, but they always kind of roll their eyes when I say it, but I will say it. Once you go Golem, you never go back. Well, most of the time. So, why on earth do I want to look at Brochure tonight? Oh, okay, well, let's go into this. So, Jay Repsolo asks, Eric, what happened with Lubridate and Cran? Well, that's been a hot topic for those on the other streams today. To make a long story short, and we do have at least one person from our studio on the chat here that she can correct me if I'm wrong. But there was a test that was run on Lubridate with another OS, i.e. the Mac ARM platform, that failed a test. And the maintainers of CRAN, I have a feeling I know who it is, but I won't say it unless I get it confirmed, has sent a rather terse message out to the maintainers of Lubridate saying that the package will be archived if this failure is not solved. But it's not just going to be Lubridate that's archived. It's going to be all the other dependencies that imported as well. Oof. That's rough. This is there's a lot of dependency. There's a lot of packages that import Lubridate, because Lubridate has been for many years kind of the standard for date time processing in R to make it a little more elegant, a little more easy to use. There's a whole chapter on it in the R for Data Science book. I've used it probably almost ever since it came out, whenever that was. It's been always a daily part of my workflow whenever I get timestamps or dates in my data sets. Now, I think there is a help on the way. I think they're working on it from what I could tell on the various tweets. So, and I think even Hadley Wickham, who's been one of the maintainers of Lubridate, along with, of course, the Tidyverse in general, I believe he is emailing all of the package authors that have imported Lubridate to say that this is going to be solved, for them not to worry about it. But you can imagine this has caused quite an uproar in the social media sphere of the R community. It has, I feel like I'm on my podcast hat here, but I will say that this has been a hot topic that I think will be discussed in other ways in terms of like how CRAN is kind of being administered and how these situations can sometimes explode a little bit. And there are work streams going on as I speak to kind of take a more exhaustive look at this. They're led by some people I respect a lot in the art community, like Miles McBain, a few others, even my compatriot from the day job, Will Landau, was on one of these working groups as well. So I think there's going to be maybe some changes down the road, but it's been a situation, let's put it that way. So I am going to obviously keep an eye on it, because that's probably going to be a topic that gets discussed, whether it's in my our weekly highlights podcast or even elsewhere. Hint, hint. Okay. So I hope that helped, gives you some context, but we're going to work on packages that have not been deprecated or mandated to be archived, because some of these are just on GitHub, and at least Shiny is still safe. So happy for that. So why do I want to look at brochure? The idea of brochure is that we can have one overall Shiny app with mini apps inside. And what I mean by mini apps, I mean applications that look like standalone applications. They'll have their own UI function, they'll have their own server function. They're basically self-contained, but you can put them under one umbrella and even pass stuff back and forth if you really want to. That's actually not going to be what I focus on in terms of what I do tonight. But when Jesse had that interesting idea about looking at the Shiny gallery and seeing some really interesting examples that don't get a lot of press, but also, frankly speaking, kind of show you just the end product of some of those, you don't really see the progression on how someone might get there, and not a lot of narrative around it. Now, there are efforts that the Shiny team is making to help illustrate how newer features of Shiny are being used in a more clearly explained way, i.e. the Shiny app stories that Nick Strayer and Winston Chang are leading. But that's really meant for just the new stuff coming up. What about the stuff that's already there that maybe people will need in their projects, and they'll see a little example online, but not really why it works the way it does or how you might build to that point? This has always been something I'm passionate about, because it's great to see the finished product of code, but boy, I don't know about you, but I love seeing how people get there. My Shiny Dev Series is hugely motivated by getting the inside story from the people making these great packages, these great apps, about how they went about the projects, what are the things they learned, what is advice for people like me or people like those that are new to Shiny. Well, we can do something like this, I think, within Shiny itself, and brochure is going to make this possible. At least I think it is. So again, this could crash and burn, but we're going to try it out, and if it works in a proof of concept that I do tonight, then thanks to things like Golem and some interesting packages that deal with Git, I think we can make this so that we can launch a template of this structure for people that want to do something like this with maybe an app tutorial or things like that, to make it as easy as possible for them to replicate this structure. It does sound crazy, I admit, but sometimes that's how the good ideas start. They start a little crazy, but then as we go further, we might be able to make some progress. So let's do this, huh? Let's do this. So when I say prototype, I do mean prototype, and I'm not even going to look at a real substantial data set tonight, even though I was tempted to pull down the nursing data from Tidy Tuesday, but let's face it, Jesse, you did such a good job with that set. What do I need to do that? And Mariah did that just now, and Daniel did that yesterday. So you don't need to see me analyze the nursing data, but we are going to look at more of the infrastructure stuff tonight. Star Wars, yeah, that is on my radar. Or Star Trek. I know there's obviously a lot of fans of Star Trek around here. So let's see if my keyboard shortcuts work here. Okay, we're back in VS Code. So as I said, I actually did a live stream where I did a very simple proof of concept with brochure, but I did it with a different focus. For that focus, I was more paying attention to how I could pass things back and forth between the sub apps. Here, I'm not concerned about that. These apps are truly self-contained, but they're a progression from like start to finish. So let's get the start built up, and then we'll start working our way to like imagining we're in a situation where we iterate maybe through multiple months or multiple years sometimes of a more polished app down the road. So a lot of words. Let's do this. So first step, we should probably look back at the brochure package and I'm always lazy when I start these out. I frankly just copy paste. I copy the examples and then I modify from there. So I feel like there was one here that, yeah, okay, this is the one I want. All right. So we're just gonna copy pasta this stuff here. There will be some bits we have to do here, but I can already tell this is gonna be so much more friendly for my development workflow here. And by the way, I'm about to show you some real Inception stuff in just a bit. Now that I have this new setup, like, can you tell I'm excited about solving this OBS thing? Like, this is changing my streaming life. Like, oh, why did I not do this sooner? Okay, so we've got our app here. Let's load the packages. Library shiny. If I can type. Brochure, yep. Let's make sure I don't need any other packages here. Got the infamous empty cars. I'm okay with that this time. I think this should just work. We're gonna call this app.r. I don't like the lowercase r. I'm kind of picky. I'm old school. I like the capital R. Well, thank you, Unicorn Coder. I do need to get more point rewards on there. I have ideas, especially a cool little segment that I'm going to call Story Time with Eric that we might do. I even have a soundbite for it. I don't know if I can play it here, but I have it. All right, let's run this. Okay, so nothing fancy here, but what we do, whoops, I lost my mouse. Hold on, this is going to take some getting used to. Okay, here we are. So this is the home page of the app, i.e. the first one. Yeah, that is exactly what I'm going to do, Tan. I'm gonna make it happen. I've got the kind of the audio bling bling to go with it. I configured it last night. I just didn't have time to plug it in yet, but I'm pumped for it. Then we go to page 2, and it's basically the same app, but it's just a different link. And then contact goes silly thing like that. So nothing fancy here. Keep in mind, this is not really fancy, but think of the potential here. We can obviously call this anything we want. And imagine, instead of just seeing like a plot here or seeing a table, we get almost like a mini blog post above it that shows like that stage of development. So feel like, yeah, the lubricate, that did come up, Tan. It's the hot topic in every R stream these days, I think. Okay, so I think now I'm going to show you the inception that I was talking about. Let me go back here. Where is it? You all know what this is. This is our studio server. I never forgot about my friend our studio server. I use it every day at work. But now, because in OBS I can have both of these in the same place, the same monitor. Watch this. I'm gonna open my project. Shiny Learning. Well, there is no project here. Maybe we should make one there. Let's do that. New project, existing directory. I'm gonna go in there. Let's go in. Hey, I know that file. That's what I just wrote in VS Code, folks. So, before, I mentioned this before, but because of my rather esoteric setup here with Linux and OBS, I could never fully do a window capture of a web browser for some odd reason that I will never know, and now I frankly don't care anymore. Because now that I have this third phantom monitor, I can have VS Code in there basically in the same place. And if something goes haywire in one, I just pivot to the other. And because it's a Linux container, I have all the files mounted in each one. I could edit in one, it'll be available in the other. So we can run the app here. Of course, it would help if I ran the whole thing, right? Let's do that. Oh, I forgot I have to do it this way. There we go. Well, this is interesting. Did I screw something up here? Hold on. Let's see. I think I messed something up here. Let's see. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, there it is. There's the app. So basically now I can pivot between two development environments at the push of a keyboard button. So this was a little subliminal hint to one of you on this stream. Once your big move is complete, Jesse, I really want to get you started with this because you're gonna love it. You're gonna absolutely love it. Okay, so we can close this one now. Go back to VS Code just for a bit. Okay, we're back here. So, yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you're all gonna get me to use pack tomorrow, so I gotta even the odds a little bit. All right. So, what do we want to do for prototyping? Well, yeah, it's a personal RStudio server, but it's also just a container. It's like not on any fancy AWS. It's literally on my box. Yeah, I know. You cue the pack. Cue the pack. All right. Now, what I want to do for prototyping, we've actually seen this in action from one of Jesse's streams, I think last week, is we're going to use another package from the fine folks at ThinkR, and that is called Shinypsum. Is that how to say it? I don't know. I'm just gonna look at the docs again. I remember giving the link in that stream, but now I gotta refresh my memory on what the functions are called. So we're gonna do a cookie cutter app that just is gonna have a random table and a random ggplot. Very basic, not a huge deal. So let's look at the help for it. So it's random DT. Okay, so now page 1 in brochure, you can call this anything you like, but you make an anonymous function that has the contents of the mini app. And you can see it's broken up by this page function. So the page function is kind of like in brochure, the specific tab or a specific address that this first app is going to be on. So we're gonna keep kind of the similar structure. I'm just gonna live on Twitch. All right. And then we're going to see, okay, so nav links is on every page. So that's important, right? Is that your navigation between each of the pages needs to be on each sub page, because each of these pages is like standalone apps. So you've got to have that somewhere. So I'm okay with where it is for now. But now we are going to first load Shiny Ipsum. And we'll grab DT for that matter. Probably need ggplot too. Yep. Okay. So now, of course, I'm gonna get my fancy stuff going with my grid layout. Not fancy, but it's all built in. But this is what I do every. Oh, the spacing, the spacing, the spacing. Okay, VS Code, where are you? I need to, sorry chat, I gotta take you out for just a second and change this to 2. I need to figure out how to make this default. That's gonna bug me for a while. Okay, we're back. Let's see if that, oh, okay, now we're back to business. Thank you, Unicorn Coder. I'm happy you all like the music. This is what I listen to when I code up every day. And I actually have a really geeky idea to make it easy to figure out what music is playing on the Twitch channel through some API magic. That may be a topic for another stream, who knows. So we're doing this kind of the old school Shiny way, where I don't have the golem helpers right now, but now we're gonna do random DT. And then maybe we do 10 rows. We'll do 5 columns. I think we can leave type as is. Okay. Actually, maybe we'll do these side by side. Let's do them side by side. Column. Stop at VS Code. I know what fluid row does. Okay. Number width equals 6. And then the other, back to the R tab here. We want a random ggplot. Oh, why are we doing ggplot? Let's do a random ggplotly. Come on, I love plotly. Let's load that in here. Then now what do we oh, we have to, oh, this is different. This is not quite oh, I'm a little tripped up here. Okay. I need to consult the examples here how to do the random ggplotly. So let's go back to the help page of Shiny Ipsum. Okay, plot, random ggplotly. Oh, okay, so we can create it. Then we can call it on this. Okay, okay. I think I get the idea. Okay, I got it now. All right. So this, we can create this outside the app up here. So that should be random ggplotly. And let me see what a random ggplot had for its arguments. Okay, so what type do we want? Let's do let's just do bar. And then I think at that case, then instead of this, we want plotly output. And then we can keep it as plot. We're gonna blow this away. And the server, and this will be render plotly. And then this should be this. I think. I feel like I'm maybe being too greedy here. Let's see. Let's see. I'll make this bigger. Oh, wait a minute. That didn't... That took up the whole app size, so did I screw that up? Let's see. Where did I... Oh, I did it in, page... No, I did it here. UI, fluid roll, com. Oh, well. Clearly something's going on here. No plot showed up. Just kind of curious what happens when I run this. What does a random plot look like? Oh, it's a big blank. That's bizarre. Maybe we do random ggplot instead. Maybe that'll be safer. Okay, now let's just stick with that then. Maybe there's some plotly shenanigans going on there. All right. Then we will try that again. But is still not showing up in the app. I must be doing something silly here. Output plot. Well, that's that one. Oh, okay. Oh, render plot. I need to change this. Oh, I know what the problem was. Anyway, this will work now. Happens to all of us. I've seen it happen to many people. We forget to make the names consistent. Alright, let's try that again. There we go. The data table seems messed up, but we have the plot there. That is one gnarly layout, though. Why on earth did the data table just consume so much? Do I have a rogue? That is bizarre. Bizarre. That should be. Let's make this even narrower width. What the heck is going on? I got 9. Try that again. Try to open this in an external browser. That is some bizarre stuff. I have no idea what's happening there. Is there an argument to random DT that I don't know about? Let's see. Let's take a look. Well, okay, well, I'll have to figure this out later on, but I'm just going to put them top to bottom at this case. Very bizarre. And we'll just throw this below it. Layouts, oh, the copy paste destroyed there. All right. Oh, now I lost it. Too many keystrokes. All right. Get that out of here. Get that in. All right. Extra parenthesis. Okay, that should be fluid roll, fluid roll. Yep. This should put them one below the other. Yeah, okay. I don't know what kind of crazy stuff just happened there, but we got it. All right, so let's just imagine that that was somebody's very beginning prototype of an app. Yeah, all it is somebody got some requirements from their manager or client or whoever, and they were just like, hey, I need you to visualize this data and let me sort it if I want. This is let me sort this. Just let me do something with it. And at this point, you're concerned at this point in the development layout of like just seeing if they're happy with like the whiteboarding of this app using Shiny Ipsum as kind of like your starting point with it. And then they say, okay, I'm happy with it, but now we need to spruce it up a bit. Let's style it up. So that is page. So page 1, let's imagine, like I said, that's your whiteboard. Page 2 is we're going to start sprucing it up a little bit. Now, before we get there, I need to test an infrastructure thing that is going to be a huge deal if it works well to make all this happen. So right now you see I basically hard-coded the app, the mini app, into the page function and this page 1 object directly. Well, I don't really want to put it here verbatim. I'd rather have this page 1 function in a separate file, meaning that the function to make page 1 should be a dedicated thing. But where should it be? So basically this page function, its arguments are the href, which is how you browse to it from that navigation bar, but then you have your familiar UI and server-side stuff. So it seems to me that this could frankly be a module. Why do I like modules? Well, I've said that a few times, but modules are basically supercharged Shiny functions under the hood. So why not create a module and simply make that a separate script, and then it will be referenced in here. That's one approach. The other approach is to simply have the UI and server functions as just some standalone script that's referenced here somewhere. I like the module approach better. So I'm going to start something kind of radical here. I'm not sure if it'll work, but you notice in my directory setup, I am not in a Golem app right now, but Golem does have add module. Now let's see if this actually works when you're not in a Golem app. I doubt it will, but I'm just going to give it a shot. Yeah, okay, that was that was just me being lazy for a second. So we'll have to kind of make it ourselves, but that's all right. That's all right. This is all just exploration. So we'll do another R script. And this is time for Eric to show that he's a little getting long in the tooth, because I'm so used to creating the modules of Golem so much. I actually forgot what it was like to create a module just on my own. So we're going to look at the article that I wrote. So, okay, the function. This will be the old way because I'm more comfortable with that. All right, so, yeah, okay. I feel very facetious doing what I just did. Okay. So we're gonna call this page 1, UI, function ID. Yep. S. Yep, okay. Now we're good to go. We're good to go now. Yeah, I thought about that. I'm a little nervous about hacking on it right now, but we'll make this work. So I'm gonna move this to the other view so that I can just copy basically everything here. So in essence, the UI here has a function with the request parameter. That request is going to be what kind of goes into browsing that app. So since modules return a tag list anyway, this in theory, should be plug and play. And then all we need to do is wrap this in our friendly NS for namespace. And this will be page 1. I'm going to keep everything in the same directory for now. But obviously if this goes the Golem route later on, then we're going to have to rethink that structure a bit, but for later. And then we have our page server, we'll call it. I always put the session argument in there because nothing bad can happen when you have the session argument there. Okay, so then this was extremely simple. It was just the render plot. But what's nice is that we can put in the code. Oh, it did that spacing thing again, didn't it? Hold on. So it does that whenever I launch a new file. That's gotta go. Okay, anyway. Shift that back. I have like OCD when it comes to spacing. All right. Now we can create random plot in the server-side module. So that'll be a little more cleaner. Okay. I am going to prefix this just in case. Throw this right there. Okay. So I feel like that has everything. But this is going to get a little tricky here. Perhaps. So you know what a good thing to do when you're about to do what you might say is a radical change in your infrastructure? Commit all this stuff. So I actually had this repo built when I did the kind of the interactive learning session I did last week with David Granjon's book, and I've basically repurposed it for this project. I'll probably make a new repo for that actual me learning project later on. So let's just get all this bits in here. And all the Docker stuff in there, so I don't have to worry about it. Okay. Base commit before potential chaos. All right. I try to have fun with my commit messages, even sometimes at work if I know it's just a project I do, because I know I'll laugh about it later. So now we got a place to restore back if we truly break stuff. So now we're going to try potentially breaking app.r with all this. So we're going to source script. This will be source h1.r. Okay. And then we're not going to need this. We'll comment it out for now. We probably, yeah, we'll need to look at that. So here, UI function request, this should, in theory, eliminate the need for this. And then we simply do page UI, get an idea of page 1, server, because we already pass input output session, it should be just this. Page server and input output session. Oh wait, no, it's not this. What am I doing, Eric? Oh my gosh, it's embarrassing. We need to do call module, not that. Yeah, call module. What am I doing? Okay, that was silly. That was silly on my part. Okay. Whoops. Spider it up there. All right. This is page server. I should rename this. This is actually page 1 UI, page 1 server. So, because we're going to do another one of these later on. So, and this is just page 1. And all this other stuff that I did in the Ames housing app doesn't need to be there. And page 1 UI, all module page 1 server. We don't need all this spacing here. Oh, yes, Unicorn Coder, you're right about that. That's because in this Docker repo, I forgot to install that extension. But you know what? I haven't tried this before. We can install extensions on the fly. Let's have some fun. Oh, it's already here. Oh, I do have it. Okay. So, what is this power mode, you ask? I will show you. Where are my settings? Preferences. All right, you all ready to have fun? Here we go. All right, we gotta add some stuff here. Let's get this out of here. Are you kidding me? What? This is crazy. Yeah, the fireworks setting. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that. Let me go back to my preferences. This was a fun little trick that I sprung upon my unsuspecting audience a week or two ago. Let's see, where is the type? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Yep, fireworks. Okay. Give that a shot. Whee! Yeah. Happy 4th of July. Yeah. I love it. I love it. That's just, it's a fun little gimmick. We'll keep it on for a bit. When you all get tired of it, I'll disable it. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that. Oh, Yuka. Yeah, thanks. Glad you could make it. How are you doing? Hope you're having a relaxing evening. We're having fun with Shiny apps and destroying our VS Code setup at the same time. Well, not really. Okay. Call page 1, page server. Page 1, that should all be good. Okay, I think we're ready to run it. Let's save this. So we got page 1, page 1, page 1 UI, page 1 server. Okay, let's give it a shot. Good news, folks. Nothing changed, which is what we wanted. Modules work inside a brochure-powered Shiny app. Step 1 of the master plan is complete. Because what we proved here is that these can be in separate files and have no issue being sourced into brochure. So, now we can keep this in mind. We can say, okay, we're gonna make the next revision of the app that's a little more polished up. It's gonna let the user choose things, and in this case, we are going to load an actual data set so that we can do some manipulations with it. So the abstractions are immense here. We've done brochure, mini Shiny apps in brochure, and one of the mini Shiny apps uses modules inside. So if your head's not spinning yet, it probably will be later. So next step, let's make another module for page 2, and we're going to make it a bit prettier, but with more substantial content in it. So easiest thing to do here, let's get up page 1. Stop this thing here. Save this as page 2. Now everything I'm doing manually right now, like this whole idea of like resaving a file, just changing the name, changing function names, I want to automate that when I get this polished up. I want to make it so you call a simple function that takes the first page of the brochure and copies it over to the second page, and then you start editing it to kind of show what changes between this stuff. That's the goal. But right now we're just proving out that this methodology works in an ad hoc way. Bad news, Unicorn Coder. VS Code, I do not believe, has autosave for this R content, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know. I haven't tried it out. All right, now we're going to call this polish. I'm going to change one of the settings in that fireworks. Let me do that real quick. There should be a setting for like the duration. Well, I went way too far. Duration. Okay, we're gonna make this a little smaller just because we got a little overwhelming there. Okay. Keep that available if we need it. All right. Yes, oh, Afton's here. Oh my gosh, I almost missed it. Afton, how are you doing? You missed the fun little gimmick that I just done with my OBS setup. You want to see it? Here we go. This is my phone. Never mind the stickers. Uh-oh. It would help if I actually had the, There we go. This is my screen. Notice the exception. And I'm doing this all within OBS. No additional software needed it. So cool. All right. Back to fun stuff. Oh, wait. Afton, I do have to show you something. This will be maybe a little hint on things that happened recently, especially about what you received recently. I had a little hardware upgrade just after a certain event. And what was that upgrade, you ask? It is this. I supersized my Stream Deck because I'm doing this a lot more often, and I was running a bit low. This is the mega one. Martin Wimpress got me jealous, and I had to treat myself a little bit. So, so when I said that the old one needed a new home, I meant it. It needed a new home. So it's happy now. I'll never be as brilliant as Martin is, but you can't blame a guy for trying. So, all right. So now we're gonna spruce this one up a bit. We're going to instead of doing random DT, we're going to do DT output, and we're gonna give this a more formal name. Whoops, there's a lot of shenanigans going on in parentheses here. All right. I'm always creative with names here. Okay, my table. Plot output can be the same, but we're gonna put stuff above this. Gonna do another row. Oh, the spacing again. The spacing. That's gonna drive me nuts. I gotta figure out in VS Code what's the setting to make that permanent. But okay, we'll figure that out later. Oops, wrong key. Alright. So, we're gonna do... We'll do 3. Okay, we want some from Shiny Widgets, one of my favorite packages for UI. What do we want to do? You know what? When I don't know what I want to do with Shiny Widgets, there's a simple solution to this. Run the Shiny Gallery. But I guess I don't have a... Oh. Ah. Okay, I don't want to... I'm too lazy to install new packages right now. But what I will do is go here. Just find our favorite. No, not the official one. This one here. There we go. What do we want to do? We want to make something fancy here. Let's we could do yeah, we can do this guy here. The select all the picker input. Yep. All right. Let's do that. Spacing got absolutely destroyed there, but that's okay. There we go. We'll clean this up a bit. All this should just work. There should not be any issues with this. But we're just gonna prove it out. And then we'll load the data here. Anyone have a preference what data set we look at? I don't want to do empty cars again. Is there a way to see what's built in? Oh yeah, there is. Yeah, okay. Let's just pick one of these. Oh, we got a lot to choose from. Beavers? Beavers? No, let's do beavers. Alright. Oh, everybody's saying Star Wars. Yeah, unfortunately it's not built into my Docker container, and I'm too lazy to install it right now. But for next time, I will do it, yeah. I think that'll work. Let's just see if that works in the console here. Oh gosh, what happened there? I'm not even... Ah! What the heck happened there? Okay. Let's just see if that works in... Oh, whoops. Oh, beavers. I think it's beavers. Okay. Yeah, let's see what this looks like. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. I know I'm doing this wrong. Beavers DF. It's not. I don't want it to be a character. That means I just type. No. I'm definitely fumbling around here. Loading a built-in data set should not be this hard. Do I just not need the quotes around it? Or do I just do it like this? Maybe assigning it to a variable is screwing it up. Oh, okay, so it gives you two data sets when you do it. Okay. Beaver 1 and Beaver 2. Okay. Okay, I got it, Okay. Alright. I don't know if I'll need it, but... Alright. Okay. So we got our Beaver data set. This is what we'll use in the DT. We'll just feed in B1 BF with no options. And then we're gonna do, we're not gonna need random plot now. But we are gonna need, now what does our Beaver data actually have? We're gonna do time and temp, yeah. And that will be the point. Okay, simple enough. So we've got that. The widget's is not gonna really do anything here, but it's just more setting up the placeholder for it. All right, so then page 2, we do page 2 UI. I don't know why the hoverboards always do that. request. Swap that out here. Get this page 2. And then call module. Page 2. Page 2. Okay. So I think we just have to source the other script right here. Okay. Ready? Let's go. And I screwed something up. What did I screw up? Unexpected. What? Okay, where's the error? Must be a missing parentheses somewhere. Okay, that looks good. That looks good. Oh, okay. Well, okay, where's the error? Where's the error? Usually VS Code is good about showing where the problem resides. Oh, gosh, the commas. It's always the commas. But there's still another one. Okay, where is it? Where is it? Let's just get rid of this first. Still an error somewhere. Alright, where's the error? Is there a missing parenthesis here? Yeah, that was it. Always the missing parentheses. Always, always, always. Okay. So now let's try that again. Okay, so page 1, imagine that's your prototype. Page 2 is kind of like your prototype, but we have a widget here that we could do stuff with. And now we've got the beaver temperature here. Okay. So, the nice thing about all this is that we can go from here to here, and the apps render dynamically. Now, let's make this a little visually pleasing. What I don't like is these things being just simple kind of list items to navigate through the app. What I want, if you're familiar with the built-in shiny kind of UI functions, I want the nav bar at the top so that it looks like a cohesive kind of wrapper container for all this. Tabs, exactly. But here's the kicker. Each of these needs to basically replicate that tab setup on its own. So like each app is going to have to do the verbose kind of bootstrap styling for these navigation bars. And I want to say that one of the examples in the brochure repo actually does this. So I want to kind of look at that again real quick. Let's see if there's a better one. That seems like the same kind of thing. Okay, I wonder if I did this with the experiment I did before. I feel like I might have. Yeah, BSLib is certainly something I want to look at, but I want to, I'm going to call it mega something, mega brochure. This was from, I did this way back in August? Good grief. Thought it was more recent than that, unless this is a different thing. No, this is it. Okay, let me see what I did here. No, I did basically the same thing here, didn't I? Okay. Let me look one more time. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, so what I want is I want to do like a nav bar layout, but I have to kind of hard code it myself. So, what do we... Well, Afton, I know you say that, but you still got value out of it. And should I spill the beans now? I mean, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So, little inside baseball here. Kind of my next kind of round of things for the Shiny Developer Series is to put a spotlight on the recent Shiny contest submissions and the authors that made them. Afton's one of them. So we're going to work on scheduling for that. So Afton and I will have a fun conversation. That'll be on a future Shiny Dev Series episode. And there's certainly a few others that are going out there. We're getting all that lined up, so stay tuned for that. So you may think it was pointless, but you're going on Shiny Dev Series, so that's got to count for something, I think. So, okay, so this is a case where I mentioned, maybe in that other stream I did with Learning Shiny, is that every UI function just spits out HTML code. Oh, so now they do BSLib with it, don't they? Okay, so let's look at what BSLib menu does. Oh, that just gives me... Okay, so this isn't quite what I had in mind. What I wanted was something like something like that, just the HTML for that. This is where, you know, why I want to learn all that Shiny UI stuff, is that I want to be able to code this up in an HTML way very quickly. I wonder if I can tab set panel. You know what? We're just going to do the tab set panel. Let's make it easy tonight. We don't want to get bogged down in making things too perfect. We just want to make it easy. So this is what we want to do. This is the raw HTML of it. But we're going to do this in the tag list way that we've been hearing about. Damn, what did I just do? Okay, I want to copy that. So now we're going to go over here. Is we're going to make a new function called tab links. Let me just put a placeholder here. Okay, I do admit I probably need to... It's going to be a little bit of a disorienting feeling with the explosions. I'm going to see if there's a... Oh, there's no easy way to turn that off. Okay, let me just go to the settings and do it. It's fun once in a while, but now when I'm getting serious, as they say, so I want to get back to my comfort zone. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. We'll bring it back later, Unicorn Coder, but yeah, right now I just want to get more concentrating on it. Okay, where am I? Where am I? Whoops. Okay, there we are. Right. Okay, so what I want, we're gonna do this tags div. XUL. So it's basically kind of like what we see above. In fact, I think we can do this similar thing. Maybe we'll find out. This could get really bad real quick. I don't know. Let's see. What class? Nav tabs. Let me look up an example of the tab set panel. Go back to the shiny here. Yeah, let me look at this for a second. Just run that in VS Code. Let me put that in a new file real quick. This is exactly how I kind of learn HTML stuff. I just try it out, see what happens. Okay, what did this give me? So we had okay. That's pretty gnarly. Yeah, I think that's if somebody in our studio makes the similar extension for the IDE that we just showed here, a lot of people will be happy, I think. So let me throw this in a separate file that I can look at side by side when I do this. Okay, let's traverse this a little bit. So we got class tabbable, nav tabs. I'm not going to worry about the tab set ID stuff. Maybe I'll pay for that later. I don't know. I just want to do class equal active. And then this, yeah, ahref that. I think we can just do it like this. There's this tab. And then here. You know what? This is a lot of effort just for this little nav bar, isn't it? It's gotta be an easier way. Alright, we're getting closer. Almost data value. That was lot. Okay. And here it would be maybe home? I don't know. I don't know if it's fun or not. I'm literally just fumbling my way for something right now. But you're always staying around, so that helps. Feel like that should do it. But what we can do is we can keep this as the only thing, just for testing purposes, and see if this really does work. So that means we can comment these out. And we'll just kind of wrap it like that. And then I realize this is obviously not going to work very well. But I need to pass this. Let me just save this file somewhere, even though I'm not going to really use it much. Okay, now I feel better about that. Okay, we got that. This. Page 2. It just took it from the global environment, so that's fine. We can just call it tab underscore links for the page 1. Let's just do page 1 first. And that way. I can type. Okay, so this could be really easy. All right, we've got something wrong here. Let's see what's wrong. Oh, this. Yeah, we can't keep that in there. Okay, and errors, still errors. Where? Where are the errors? Trailing comma. Of course it is. No, that's not it. Okay. That's it. Missing comma. Yay, okay, we're back to green. Let's see. Alright, give it a shot. Oh! Oh! Look at that! It's showing up! Okay. My hard coding of HTML with tag list actually worked. Okay. I think it kind of did, so let's... Whoa, I didn't want to do that. I want to replicate that same thing. And make sure that it gets the right place. So now this is going to be page 2. Call this page 2. Okay. And let's see if that gives us the second one. Whoops. But they don't click. All right, well, must be doing, well, not quite success. I mean, they show up, but there isn't anything happening when I click it. So I've screwed something up. I knew I would. Oh, wait a minute. Can't have two active ones at once. Maybe that was it. Nope, still not clickable. Okay. All right, back to the HTML drawing board. First, let me word wrap this because it's hard for me to read that. Now this is the kind of thing here, is that it's got this href of like pound tab 3601. And then this is the label on it, but I want it to be like that slash, the slash page 2 and the slash page 3. So is this really important when it's when it's specified like this. So like, did I miss something here? Oh. Oh, okay. There's more to this. This isn't quite as easy as I thought. 'Cause then you've got this tab content class within here, which is basically what all this is. Ooh, this is, yeah, this probably ain't gonna work. Yeah, it's nested divs. But the idea was here, we just, unless after this, we do a div of tab content with the tab set ID that corresponded to, how does it know this is 3600? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. I think this isn't quite what I had in mind. I feel like I know why the brochure example did the simple like list items. I think the key is to use that same construct, but to style it to be more like a navigation bar. So that's a finer tweak for later. The objective tonight, I think we actually have met pretty well though, is that we have shown that brochure can definitely host apps that are contained in separate files, and it renders just fine. This is the kind of stuff, like, okay, let's put it this way. This is exactly what I hope to learn from David Granjon's outstanding Shiny UI book, is to take HTML like this and apply CSS or apply different things on it so you can make it do what you want in this app. So I feel like there should be a way to do it. It's just a matter of doing it. But the last thing I'll do before I close up tonight, I know we're going a little over, but I want to show what I had in mind when I thought about, okay, this brochure version of the app that has these different sub apps in it could each have like an optional narrative to let the user read while they look at the app rendering itself. So the easy way to do that is to include markdown syntax. How do we do that? So we're gonna make a new file. Markdown. Fancy infection. Never there now. What okay us? We have brochure working with Shiny modules. I'm just doing the formatting of it to make sure Markdown renders correctly. And I'm gonna save this. It's page 1 intro MD. And in page 1, we are going to make another fluid row here. Oh, there's an easier way to do this. I did this before. What was let me look at the reference of Shiny real quick. I feel like I've done this before. reference. Include markdown. I thought I did that. Okay, all right. Anyway, this VS Code must not have been kind to me. Include markdown, and this is going to be page 1 intro.md. Okay. You guessed it, missing commas again, folks. What did I just do? Oh, come on, really? Really? I installed the R Markdown package and the Markdown package isn't installed? Oh, that's crazy. Now you're about to see the downside of my container setup. Oh, good, it actually got it in there. Okay, all right. Let's see if that fixes it. Yep, okay. They got the markdown rendered here, so mission accomplished. So my idea for this whole thing is that imagine we have helper functions in this kind of boilerplate thing that lets a user just supply a markdown file, and then it'll automatically be embedded in the module pertaining to the page they want it to apply to, so that this kind of stuff is included automatically. Or we can put it in one of those fancy kind of boxes that you can expand and collapse the content, so that if you don't want to see it, you can minimize it. But if you do want to see it, you can maximize it. There is some Bootstrap kind of stuff that can do it. And so it's just a matter of, again, styling things up to do it. But that could be a function in this new kind of framework I'm creating to make that happen. I have been missing a whole bunch here. I see stuff about cats and scatter plots and yeah, the commas, of course, and more cats. That shouldn't be a surprise. We have Afton here, and Afton's our biggest cat fan alongside. Well, I used to have cats. I miss them. Yeah, we should probably make a meme of the missing commas, because anybody that does Shiny will encounter that like routinely in their development life. Okay. So let me I'll keep this for prosperity, but I think that was a massive fail on that part. Let me get rid of this page contact thing. We're not going to use that one and make it kind of mimic what we did here. We're going to take out the redirects here. We don't really care about that for this example. So what I hope you see is that this page 1 and page 2 follow basically the exact same structure, give or take the href specification, which is like the URL alias at the end of the URL. So a slash means it's kind of like the home page. Page 2 is literally what it sounds like. You do slash page 2 after the app address, and you'll go directly to page 2. That's one difference. The other difference is the functions that are being referenced in these module calls. Other than that, they're exactly the same, which means we should be able to script this out into a driver function to generate this skeleton auto-magically. Now, Golem already does this kind of when you bootstrap a Shiny app as a package. It puts in all the infrastructure bits. But what if I build on top of Golem to give the brochure structure to bootstrapping this? That, now that I know this thing kind of works when you ad hoc kind of manually specify it, other than some styling nonsense, I feel like the next step is to really make this a tool, not just somebody like me hacking this together and expecting people to look at the GitHub repo and just clone it and then do all the manual manipulations themselves. So I feel like I proved out the POC. The POC, we can have apps that look very similar to each other, but they're treated separately, and we can put narrative text in it if we want. Done, I would say. So let's commit what we've done now, because I don't want to miss out on it. But whenever I do these kind of things, I've shown this trick before, but I'm going to make a new folder in here. And then I'm going to make a readme in this. Version. Oh. Got it. What? Didn't I just make that folder? My head's in the way. I gotta move my head away. All right. Okay, I got too fancy there. Let's go to the file pane. Okay, I messed something up in that bash or fish cell stuff. Oh, where am I? Oh, okay. No, I have it. Okay. Who knows? Let's just run that cat here. Oh, it's not cat. Oh my gosh. I can't believe what I just did. Don't tell Martin this, Monica. Okay. Thank you. The cat instead of echo. I should know that. Alright. So prototyping does have the readme. Yep. Yep, okay. Woof! That tells you it's been a long day. Can't even do an echo in this. Yeah, you're right. It's all the cat's fault. Yeah, okay. No, I love cats. Don't hate me for that. All right, so I want to commit everything. But I want to modify the git ignore first. So my trick in all this, the reason I did that fancy stuff, is that I don't want to. And then we do not ignore the readme file. That's my trick, is that way we can put any other nonsense we want in there, and then we're fine. All right, so what is the corrupt that we had here? Oh my gosh, I got one of those weird, like, I don't even know how to get rid of that other file. We're just gonna have to right click it and delete. I really screwed that one up. Okay, there we go. Let's move the scratch HTML, the prototyping. Anything else I did for that? Nope, that was it. Okay. Now, let's just get everything back here. And then there was, yep, that should do it. First draft of brochure PLC for learning. All right. Push that up. VS Code is good. Okay. Whew. Okay. Let's just check our GitHub repo, make sure that I made it. Not that it's really useful right now, but should. Yep, we got our stuff here. We got the app. Yep, it's all here. It's all here. Okay, so while it's fresh in my mind, before I close up here, I'm going to file some issues to navigate my next bit of development here. So first step. Figure out to replicate a nav bar, scratch tab, set panel. Navigation. We'll need some Ninja HTML skills. Hopefully learn from outstanding UI. Okay. Got that. Yeah, that's right. Actually, why don't I edit that unicorn coder as well as using CSS for links. Yep. Okay. Next one. Build upon column for bootstrapping an app with the structure. That's going to be more difficult, but how to do it. Yep. Yep. Let's look at data sets. Is in prototyping page. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here's the real kicker, my idea. Yeah, I may do the color theme, though. That's going to be kind of a case-by-case basis because we want the user, if they use this framework, to style the app however they want. All I want to do is give them that kind of like window, that landing layout of like that navigation at the top between the different sub apps. After that, it's totally up to them how they style the app at that point. But here comes the infrastructure stuff I was thinking about. Waiting for my kid to finish their practice in the car. That's where I do all my brainstorming when I'm waiting around stuff. Leverage Git submodules for the specific app page files. Imagine being able to develop these separate pages of the brochure app in separate Git repositories, but they could all be referenced easily in the main Git repository, but as submodules brought together. So this is a real stretch goal, but the cool part about this is that you could leverage Git in this whole process to have independent kind of development of these specific pages of the app as if it was somebody kind of extending one app to the other and to the other. And then you could even reference commits in each of these in your tutorials as you go. I don't know. I think I've seen stuff like this before in workshops, so I thought, why not try it here? Maybe it'd be kind of fun to do. So that's going to be the more complicated one. But I've been doing some research into a package called GERT. In fact, this is one of the things I looked at when I was trying that fancy pull request stuff from within Shiny Cow. Is this is a wrapper upon the C++ library libgit2 to do various Git operations within R. So my hope was that I could, on top of bootstrapping the files for each of these sub apps in the brochure framework, I could even bootstrap the repositories in Git for each of these sub apps as well, but still put it under one umbrella. So this is crazy, but I think it'd be fun. So is Gert different from Git to R? Yes, they are different. Gert has come after Git to R. I think they're based on different C++ libraries, if I had to guess. So this one is based on what's called libgit2 on the Linux side of things. And I think they include the binary in the Windows and the Mac builds. But Git to R, I think, is a different library. So let's check that out. By programmatic access. Oh, it is libgit. Okay, so Gert, I know, has come after Git to R. It makes things better, but I can't remember exactly how. But I saw Gert come through. Let me see if they do any. Oh, okay. So here it is. Okay, but I didn't see it before. Gert is based on libgit2, just like Git to R. Takes a fresh approach based on more recent APIs in libgit2 and lessons learned. So okay, so it tries to make things more simple. Authentication is meant to be easier. Okay, so Gert comes with everything you need from the Windows side. Configuring libgit2 is complicated, it sounds like. So it looks like it's mostly infrastructure things, but it looks like this is the way to go if you want to do low-level Git stuff within R itself. So I'm gonna try this one out, because if I recall correctly, they have, oh, they don't, it's a hidden function, but I remember reading the source code earlier today. They have a wrapper for Git submodules, so they should be able to do the slick things that I'm thinking about once I get through the infrastructure stuff a little bit. So that's way down the road. I'll just put this in now before I lose track of it. So in terms of priority, this one's a higher priority to get that navigation set up, because that's independent of all the Golem and the Git stuff and all that. Once I get that solved, then we're in good shape. So that'll be what I concentrate on in a future, either future session or off stream, I don't know which yet, because it looks like for an immediate thing to deal with in the future is, unfortunately, just as I thought I had everything figured out with the little calendar that could, Shiny Cow, apparently this widget here, let me make the font the different color, the widget here that shows the calendar itself is superimposing an offset if the viewer of this is not in Eastern time zone. I am just, now I know why people do not like time zones very much when you program with it, because how could I even predict that? I thought I had solved it, but that's for another time. So we'll get it solved one way or another, but that's probably gonna have to focus my shiny attention on pretty soon. But that's not going to prevent me from tomorrow night giving a hands-on look at the way I use the RN package for package management, and yes, tie it with pack. I am committed to it. I am putting on voice here. Y'all hold me to it. Tomorrow night, I use Pack for the very first time, and let's see what crazy stuff happens. But as Daniel has said in some various chats, the biggest reason I have not used Pack is because it was very clear in RM's early history that RM and Pack were kind of developed separately and they were not integrated together. But that seems to have changed from some of the issues I've seen recently. So we're going to try it out. Will it break? Will it not? I have no idea. But that's all the fun, right? So, okay, we're at midnight now, so I'm going to definitely close up shop here. I got to get up early, but this was fun. My mission tonight was to show that this was possible in a proof of concept way, that we can have an overarching application that can have little sub apps that show from start to finish how we build certain features or why we choose the things we do. And the possibilities are kind of endless, but now the key is I want to give a golem-like wrapper to this so that Jesse can go hard at work and start changing every single shiny gallery example. No, not everyone. But my idea is to make it easier for you to work on this, or whoever else wants to take this on. So that's what we're going to do. The commas were a thing tonight. But if it happens to me, it can happen to anybody. So always check those commas before they wreck yourself. So with that, let's close up here. You know how to find me, I hope. I'm got the Shiny Developer Series. The next episode should be edited pretty soon, and then we'll have that out. It was a great interview with somebody who definitely knows way more about the web stuff than I do. And it was a fascinating conversation on some industry tidbits and the life of consulting in the world of Shiny. So again, tomorrow night I'll be back with the RM tutorial of how I use it, why it's literally every single project I do is using RM, and it's about time to get some love. I think it's an underappreciated package for those like me that have to go lower level, but also have to deal with esoteric issues when you work in the industry like I do. So that'll be tomorrow. Certainly give me a shout on Twitter at the Rcast. You've seen that scroll here a little bit. And also join our streamers Discord. There is a command for that. Let's see if I can actually get that going here. Get my mouse. Yep, there's the link to join in on that. We have lots of fun conversations, sharing tips on streaming, giving each other support, giving ourselves, kudos and congratulations, and definitely discussing what can be a chaotic situation that occurs in the community, such as a big important package about to be deprecated, which hopefully will not. So anyway, enough about me. Let's close up here. Thank you for joining. Seems like it was a lot of, hopefully some fun, and I'm excited for the future of teaching Shiny with this infrastructure, hopefully even better. So see you around the interwebs, and y'all have a great night. Take care and get some rest. I know I will. So take care. See y'all later.